Hi friends and family, coming to you from Castelvetrano, Sicily, Italy. We are here on the Assato farm. It is an olive grove farm that has over 15,000 olive trees. And we have been here not during the olive harvest that is in October, but learning about the olives and enjoying being on this beautiful farm. Behind you, you'll see some of the olive trees, and we have this beautiful terraza to practice today. Today we'll be focusing on the element of water. Through our travels, Danny and I have had to go with the flow, adjust and adapt in various ways as we do in life with the challenges that come our way. And the water element can help us connect to a sense of creativity, going with the flow. It also can be a strong force of nature when you do need to put your foot down and have some assertiveness in what you want to do and where you want to go. So we're going to tap into the water element today through our flow. We'll start a comfortable seated position on our mat. It can be crossed legs, or if you have any knee pain, it can be more comfortable to sit like this. And I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze as we go into a more introspective space. We're going to place one hand on our rib cage and the other on our chest, kind of like we're giving ourselves a little hug. And just connect with your breath, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Imagining your breath like the waves of the ocean, inhaling as the waves rise until it meets the top of the wave, and exhale as the wave crashes. And on the first part of your inhale, breathe into your belly, then your chest, hold at the top. Exhale, breathe out your mouth, soften the chest, soften the belly, release at the bottom. Inhale, breathing into the belly, into the chest, hold at the top. Exhale, soften the chest, soften the belly, soften the breath. Continue connecting with your breath, taking a moment to notice how your body is feeling today, how your heart space is feeling today, and how your mind thinking space is feeling today. And take a moment to set a personal intention for how you want to bring the element of water into your practice. Take one more breath on your own time. And we'll blink open our eyes. Interlacing our hands behind our head, we'll inhale, reaching our nose, chest up to the sky. Exhale, curving the spine. Inhaling, continuing the breathing like the waves of the ocean. Exhaling as your back curves. Inhale, extend your arms up to the sky. Exhale, curve the spine, let your arms fall forward. Inhale, arms come up, lengthen, stretch the spine. Exhale, curve the spine. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, release the arms down. Coming to an all fours position at the top of your mat. Placing your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, about 2 fist distance apart. We'll start to take some circles to the right over the wrists. 4 circles in one direction. And 4 circles in the other direction. We'll find stillness in the center, grounding through all 5 fingers, tucking our toes, and we'll activate our core, activate our shoulders, and we'll lift our knees a few inches off the ground. Continuing to connect to our breath here. Breathing through the difficult parts of this posture, through the inhale and the exhale. Allowing the breath to continue even as our core fires up. And we'll step back into plank pose. And we'll push back into downward dog. Bending and straightening the knees however you wish, walking out the dog. Reaching your heels towards the ground, your hips reach up and back, and your neck reaches towards your hands as it's aligned with your arms. The eyes of your elbows face each other. Lengthen the back. And like a wave, we'll come forward into plank pose. And we'll go back into downward dog. Inhale to plank pose. Exhale to downward dog. Inhale to plank pose. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale to plank pose. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale to plank pose and lower to your belly, but taking our time for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Interlacing your hands behind your back, reaching your wrists back, your chest reaches up to the sky. And release. Coming into Sphinx pose, placing your elbows underneath your shoulders. We'll reach up to the sky, lower the chin down, up to the sky, lower the chin down. And we'll take some head circles over to the right here. 3 to 4 circles. However fast or slow your neck needs today. And the other side. Find stillness. We'll release the chest, bring our hands underneath our shoulders, tuck our toes, and you can come to all fours or push into plank downward dog. Looking in between our hands, we'll step or jump in between our hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, halfway lift again. Exhale, release. 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. This time, inhale, halfway lift. Release and inhale, come all the way up to standing. Arms come out and up to meet in the center. Come down into heart center. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, place your hands on the ground, step back into plank. And lower to your belly or chaturanga for upward dog. And push back into downward dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Circle your ankle one direction and your other direction. And bring your foot in between your hands, rocking forward and back in our first lunge of the day. Keeping our left hand on the ground, we'll reach our right arm up for a twist. Take some wrist circles in one direction and the other direction. Bring that right hand that's up to the inside of your right foot. Turn your back heel inwards. And we'll reach the left arm up into extended side angle. You can also place the elbow on your knee for an extended, or for more of a lifted position. Your arm can reach up or towards the front of the room. Take a wrist circle here in one direction and the other direction. Inhale, come up into warrior two. And we'll inhale, lift the arms up for a breath. Exhale, release. Inhale, up. Exhale, release. Staying in warrior two, we'll reach towards the back arm into reverse warrior. Inhale. Exhale, come forward into extended side angle. We'll repeat that. Inhale, warrior two to reverse warrior. Exhale, come forward into extended side angle. One more time. Inhale, reverse warrior. This time, circle your arms back down to the ground, framing your foot. We'll step back into plank. Lower to your belly or chaturanga, upward dog, and downward dog. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh out of your mouth. One more time. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Sigh. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. Circular ankle in one direction and the other direction. And bring your left foot in between your hands for a lunge, rocking back and forth, trying to lower your pelvis towards the ground. Also making sure that our knee is behind our toes, not in front, behind, to protect our knee. Keeping our right hand on the ground, we'll reach our left arm up for a twist. Circle the wrist in one direction and the other direction. Bring the left hand inside the left foot and we'll rotate our heel in, our toes out, lifting our right arm up to the sky. Circle our wrist in one direction and the other direction. Coming up into an extended side angle with our elbow. Feeling both of our feet into the ground, reaching both sides of our waist. Inhaling here. Exhale, come up into warrior two. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, release. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, release. Staying in warrior two, we'll reach towards the back arm into a reverse warrior. Inhale. Exhale, coming forward onto the elbow, extended side angle. Inhale, come back to warrior two, reverse warrior. Exhale, come forward into extended side angle. One more time. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, circle the arms back down to the ground, framing your left foot. Step back into plank. Lower to your belly or to chaturanga, to upward dog and downward dog. Inhale, looking in between your hands, step or jump in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, come all the way up, bringing arms out and up to meet in the center. Exhale, bringing the hands down to heart center. Take a moment to soften your gaze, close your eyes, and connect with the flow of your breath. Notice how your body is feeling. Connect with that intention of water and to the five senses here. Bring a moment of gratitude and trust to your body as it explores the practice today, and allow yourself to use that creativity through the rest of the flow. Blink open your eyes. We'll release the hands. Inhale, bringing them out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, place your hands on the ground, step back into plank, lower to chaturanga or to your bellies, upward dog, and downward dog. Inhale, breathe in through the nose. Exhale, breathe out through the mouth, sigh. Inhale, breathe in through the nose. Exhale, out through the mouth. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Bring it in between your hands at the front of your mat. Spiraling your left heel in, right toes out. Come up into warrior one. And open up into warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, come forward into extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two to reverse warrior. Exhale, come forward into extended side angle. From here, you can stay here in extended side angle. You can also place your right hand on the ground, connecting your right shoulder to your right knee. You can stay here if this stretch is good for you. Otherwise, you can spiral your pinky to the sky, bringing your arm around and underneath your leg for a bind. You can keep the hips lifted here or sit them towards the ground, whatever feels good for you. On each breath, trying to twist your ribs more to the sky. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhale, releasing. One more breath here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Place your right hand on the ground, left arm up, come back into warrior two, a reverse warrior, and circle our hands back down to the ground. Step back into plank pose, lower to chaturanga, upward dog, and downward dog. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. And exhale, bring it in between your hands at the top of your mat. Spiral your heel in, your toes out. Will come up into warrior one. And then open up the hips into warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, come forward into extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. And inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. You can stay here if this feels good to you. You can also place your hand on the ground, connecting your left shoulder with your left knee, pressing them towards each other for stability. You can stay here, lengthening with each breath, or you can turn your pinkies to the sky, wrap your right arm behind your back, reaching towards the fingers of your left hand, coming into a bind. You can gaze towards the floor or towards the sky. Your hips can be up or low, wherever you're at today. We're working towards keeping them low, but wherever feels good for your body today. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release into the stretch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release into the stretch. Release the bind, lower your left hand to the ground, right arm up, come up into warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior, spiral the arms back down to the ground. Step back into plank, lower to chaturanga, or to your bellies, upward dog, and downward dog. Inhaling through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky and bring it in between your hands. Spiral the left heel in, toes out. Come up into warrior one and open into warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. We'll now turn this into a dancing warrior. So instead of making contact here, see if you can reach your fingers to one side, and then as we come down, reaching your hands to the other side of your waist. This is dancing warrior. Play with this, see where there's room for creativity. One more series. You can go however fast or slow you need to, giving yourself permission to be creative. And we'll connect the elbow back to the knee. We can stay here, or you can place the hand on the ground, connecting your shoulder to your right knee. We can stay here, or you can find the bind. And you can also stay here, or coming into bird of paradise, we can bend the back knee and we can bring it in closer, lifting the heel of our right toes while we're still in a bind. I'll turn to face towards you guys. We'll ground all of our toes in to the mat as we lift our bind up to a standing position, bird of paradise. We can stay here, or if you'd like to extend, you can. Finding a drishti, a focal point to look at wherever you are in the room. And if you fall or wind knocks your mat out of the way, you can come right back into the bind, working towards your bird of paradise or your bind of any kind. So here you can extend, if you'd like, allowing your creativity to play with the pin's position. You can also bend the bottom leg if you need to, or straighten it, wherever you're at today. And once you're finished, we'll lower the leg, we'll release the bind, we'll come back into plank, lower to chaturanga, upward dog, and downward dog. Taking 2 breaths here in downward dog on your own time, reaching your heels towards the mat, your hips up and back, your spine lengthening, your neck lengthening in between your arms. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. Inhale, bring it in between your hands. Spiral the back heel in, right toes out. Come up into warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Thank you, Danny. Playing with dancing warrior, we will inhale to reverse warrior, but see if maybe that bottom arm can touch the waist. And then coming forward into extended side angle, instead of the elbow being here, see if maybe it reaches the opposite waist. And you can play with that a little bit. Dancing warrior. Remember to connect to your breath, inhaling and exhaling. You can play with however fast or slow you want to go. And we'll meet an extended side angle. So placing your left elbow on your knee, lifting up to the sky with the opposite hand by opposition, and then placing our left hand on the ground. You can stay here, or if you want to continue, we can work towards our bind. Continuing to lengthen and find space in the body in every pose. You can stay here if you'd like to practice bird of paradise. We'll bend the back leg, we'll bring it in, transferring our weight to that back leg, lifting our heel up and bringing it in closer to our body, adjusting the bind as we need to. We'll ground all of our toes and our heel into the ground, and we'll slowly start to bring the bind up. Keep that bottom knee bent, or work towards straightening it. And same with your leg here that's in the bind. Finding a drishti, that one point to look at. And you can play with bending and straightening the leg wherever your bird of paradise is today. Allowing for mistakes and lessons throughout. If you fall out, that's okay, come right back in. Take one more breath here. And coming back down, bringing the bind back, releasing the bind and stepping back into plank position. Lower to chaturanga or your bellies to upper dog and downward dog. Inhale, place one hand in the middle of the mat and turn to face the long edge of your mat. You can grab your knees, your calves, your ankles, your big toes, and we'll allow the back to release here. You can grab your ankles, try to get your elbows behind your calves, or you can also place your hands in front of you if that feels good. Allowing your back to release after all the twisting and lengthening that we did in Bird of Paradise. And then turning our heels in, our toes out, we'll come into a yogi squat. Placing our elbows in between our knees, rocking side to side, connecting with that intention. If we worked up some fire, slowly start to deepen the breath to return to calm through our cool down. We'll sit back on the sit bones and we'll come into butterfly posture, bringing the soles of the feet together, hips open. You can rock side to side to lengthen the sit bones. Placing our hands on the soles of our feet, and then our elbows on our calves. We'll lengthen the spine out and forward, trying to press the knees gently down while lengthening the spine forward. And we'll walk the hands forward if this feels good. Softening the breath, softening the waves of our breath. We'll walk the hands over to one side, lengthening the opposite sit bone down to the ground, softening the chest. And we'll walk the hands back to the center and over to the other side. Softening the chest, you can drop the head if that feels good, as the opposite sit bone lengthens towards the ground. And we'll come back to center. Walk the hands in. Place your hands on your knees and we'll close the book. And we'll come to the top of our mat. And holding the backs of our knees, we'll slowly roll down to our backs. Bringing our knees into our chest, we'll open our hands to the side. And we'll let our knees fall to one direction as our head looks the opposite way. Using the core to bring the knees back up to center. Let the knees fall the other direction. Head falls the other way. Continuing to deepen your breath through these postures. Inhale, bring the knees back in. Seeing how far you can wrap your arms around your knees, tucking your chin in to give yourself a big bear hug. And release. We'll take happy baby pose. If there are any other postures that you need to do today to complete your practice, now is the time. Otherwise, after you've done some rocking and happy baby, we'll release our legs into Savasana. Allowing the waves of our breath to continue as we allow ourselves to let go, let go, let go. If you have more time for Savasana today, please take it. If the rest of your day is calling to you, slowly start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, stretch your arms behind you like you're yawning and stretching. We'll bend our knees in, we'll let them fall to one side, coming into fetal position. And we'll push ourselves to the comfortable seated position where we started our practice, whether it's on our knees or cross-legged. Bringing our hands to our knees. Taking a moment to reconnect with the water element and the ways that it serves us right now in our lives. We'll take one more breath together, inhaling, reaching the arms out and up to meet in the center. Exhaling, the hands meet at heart center. Thank you all for practicing with me today. The light in me honors and sees the light in you. Thank you. Greetings from Italia and lots of love from Danny and I. Ciao.